Kristian, Stefan, thank you so much for agreeing to take me through your customer experience center. Really excited to go through and basically build my own knowledge on what lighting is and how it has an impact on associates and the customer experience. But can you take me through, how we're going to go through the customer experience center today?
Absolutely. We will bring you, Alex, and the pod audience to a lighting journey. And we will start here in our black box. We're starting off showing the fundamental aspects and the secret of light. Wow. Actually, the power the light can bring into a space. And then the next stop will actually be layers of light, using different kind of layers, setting the right mood, and we will then focus on the grocery sector. I will then go ahead talking about the possibilities we can create to communicate with light. And we have make a piece of art, like it or not, in our...
lighting is art.
Lighting is art, actually. Can you?
It's not this. It's not this.
It could be this, absolutely. But here more showing different modules, so to speak. Oh, light is art. Good description, Alex.
Brilliant. So, Stefan, what are we going to go through today?
Today, we are going to go through energy efficiency and energy cost, and how you can make a big impact on that, which is actually a big part of the store's operational expenditures. I will also talk about how important it is to take care of the right lighting for the staff, the store associates, how we can reduce discomfort glare for them.
So where are we going to go first?
Now, Alex, we go to the black box. We're starting off there.
Perfect.
Okay, so Alex, let me show you what we got here. We are inside now what we call the black room or the black box. And in this black box, we will show you the top secret of what we can do with lighting. I mean, lighting itself is not a secret, but it kept a secret, and it belongs to its contents and the relation to that to us human beings.
Yeah.
So what I want you to show now is the possibilities we can create in a retail space to enhance and expand the shopping experience from a lighting perspective. So let's start talking about light level. That's the first step here. We're talking about light level, and what you can see here now is different kind of feelings and atmosphere. And you can also see that I have to make my decision now where to put the highest light level.
Yeah.
It means also that the adaptation for your eyes will automatically be where we have the lightest spot.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that we don't want to sell all the other items.
Yeah.
It's more defining where to look.
So you're focusing the key products here, basically, through lighting.
I'm focusing on the key products to make sure that you see them when you're entering the store.
Yeah.
Because I want you to see them.
Yeah.
And therefore, I have to dim down a little bit in the surroundings.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they are not... I don't want you to make a purchase for those goods, but it means that I want you to put focus where it's needed on these three top products, which is shown here.
Understood. And it draws my eyes to the paintbrushes. I'm thinking, I didn't want a paintbrush, but now I want a paintbrush.
No, you need a paintbrush. Among all others things in the store.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Forget those green vases. I want that paintbrush.
So that's light level.
Yeah.
And this room, we can actually show different kind of applications and, visual appearance and so on. And the next phase I want to guide you through is the combination between warm and cold, which I describe here. Here we have a quite cool color temperature on those rings.
Yeah.
And to make it a little bit more cozy, I suddenly need to, of course, dim down.
What do you call it? As in, like, between the two shades of light, I can see it. Yeah? What is that? What one's warm and one's...
I would say one is warm and one is cool.
Is there a technical name for that?
Actually, Kelvin temperature is the technical name.
Okay, got you.
So the colder one has 6,000 Kelvin color temperature.
Yeah.
And the warm one has 2,700 Kelvin.
Got you.
And the combination between those two, I would say, is the fundamental aspects of light in any circumstances. That if you want to create a warm atmosphere, you do that easiest to also adding some cool color points. Because then you have a relation to warmth in a quite more efficient way.
Got you.
So for this case, for example, I have quite cool warm color temperature now on these.
Wow.
And I want instead having a quite blue feeling totally in this room.
Yeah.
So I add some blue light here, which you can see now.
got you.
So now the combination between the blue and the warmth give me a quite good relations, like the sky and the cloud. The sky and the sun outside.
Wow.
Quite close connection in between. Cool and warm. The next thing I want to show you now is actually how the light in the store creates mood and atmosphere compared to what I'm using. For example, here I want to have this warm ring, and then I'm adding spotlights, and I'm adding these spotlights in a certain area, which is actually not needed. I have the light here, but I don't have any kind of light in my applications. So what I do instead is that I, of course, need the light a little bit more on the vertical surfaces.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So just enhance the vertical surfaces to create such atmosphere which is needed for the goods, not for the room.
Yeah.
And that's
so merchandisers must love the fact that you can bring to life different colors in their product then.
Exactly. That's true. So, and especially the direction of the light, the amount of the light, and the type of light, if it is ambience or directional light, that creates the whole sense.
Yeah.
So, Alex, the last thing I want to show you now in the black box is actually color reproductions. How light color in combination with physical color can change totally the environment. What we see in front of us now is quite white color, natural white color. So I am now will address to a more fixed color, monochromatic color, and you can see also on the colors now that it will totally change tremendously the atmosphere depending on how much content from the light.
Yeah, you really saw the greens picking up and the blues.
Exactly. Once again, you see how it picks up. So if there are no relations in between the light colors and the physical colors, there are no lights to reflect. And you can actually see also that some of the colors will totally appear differently.
So do you work with visual design people to sort of help them understand which colors are going to bring out the best or the most vibrant environments?
I would say it's a part of the lighting design process, definitely. It's a part of the process to guide the clients picking the right light. And then we see colored light as a trend. It will come now once again. Colored light has been a trend here and there, but now it's a trend again, and we see that it will have a deep impact on the customer's experience. And therefore also we need to learn our customers how to use, or the clients, how to use colored light, because it will have a deep impact on the appearance and the visual quality of the room.
So Kristian, what are we looking at here?
Alex, here I'm going to take you to a journey when I will explain the layers of light, the importance of choosing the right level and the right layer of light in different applications. Now we stand in grocery, so we are going to talk about grocery lighting.
Yeah.
So first of all, we can talk about the ambience, actually the base when we place the light. So if we switched off the accents, more or less all of the accents in the store, we will see that...
What's an accent?
Accent is actually the spotlight's effect when we're highlighting the product.
Oh, wow, right, okay.
So now we take down and only talking about the ambience. What we have here is actually an ambience which is... Some people call it dark light effect. It's more or less that you don't see where the light come from, you only see the effect. Connected to... People sometimes talk about luxury experience, much more smoother experience.
Yeah, this feels like I'm going to dwell. I'm going to discover more. I'm going to hang around more.
Exactly. You will hang around more.
Wow,
it's the first layer that we have.
I thought lighting can make you hang around more.
Yeah, the lighting can make you hang around more, but it also set the whole mood. So I would say that this first layer is more or less the most important one, because it set the mood. So, if you follow me here, Alex, I will show you a little different way of approaching the first layer, the ambience.
So, Kristian, we were just looking at sort of a dwell, a slow discovery type experience, but you were telling me that you can also create a fast-paced experience?
Yeah, we set the mood depending on the atmosphere and and the type of shopping. For here example, we have more or less the same lux level, but we have a higher brightness experience because we now showing the luminaire and we creating a much more smoother ambient at still higher level. So it's more about speed shopping, making decision fast, creating the selections fast, without having the mood and set that maybe make you stay a little bit longer in the store. So that is what I want to show you here. Completely different approach from the glare off lighting to the high bright situation we have here that makes you shop fast and quickly. Okay, Alex, now it's time to take a look onto the power of accent lighting, and we're talking about the layers that most of the retailers are fully aware about, how much impact, contrasts, and atmosphere, directional spotlights can create for the environment. So what we do now is we use accents, but we have a little bit more cozy atmosphere. We rely on the way that this atmosphere should have a little bit more cozy feeling. We're adding the 2700 Kelvin, means also that we can keep the warmth, keep the luxury level, keep the atmosphere really good. And what we do now is that the 2700 Kelvin appearance, which you can see here, which also addressing a much more calmer, relaxing atmosphere. If I want to go up in speed, not meaning that it's creating much more speed shopping, then I instead take down the 2700 Kelvin and instead using the more common temperature 3000 Kelvin, which is not a major difference, but it creates a difference for the whole space. So, for example, in a store, you can easily do so that you have one part which is warmer light and one part which is cooler light. And you can fairly see that it's a trend now in retail spaces that if we're talking about 3000 Kelvin only as a color temperature before, now we're much more defining where should we have the warmth atmosphere, where should we have the speed shopping atmosphere, where should we have the experienced atmosphere, etc., depending on the space and the goods.
So Stefan, tell me, what are we looking at here?
Welcome to our Retail Experience Center, where we show different ways of illuminating aisles in a do-it-yourself store or a grocery store. There are many ways to do that, actually, and I will show you the most common way first, using a so-called trunking system. This is general lighting, nothing else. It's the light you need. It's a flat light over the whole area. There is no special direction to the light, to the merchandise, which is actually what you would like to show to the consumer. So we can help our consumers a lot by directing the light to the merchandise, so you can see what you're supposed to buy and inform yourself. I'm now switching to the more directed light, and you will see the difference, because now we put all the focus on the merchandise by using directed light and integrated light in the interior. Let's start with the directed light. As you can see here now in the back, all light is focused on the merchandise with the right color temperature in the color rendering, so you can make an informed choice before you buy. There's very little attention to the floor, because you can orientate yourself anyway. So I'm now going also to add integrated light into the interior to further enhance the consumer experience and the merchandise. And as you can see now, all the focus is on the merchandise, finding the right color, making your right choice, instead of focusing too much in the floor and on the seating. This is the preferred consumer experience to help make informed choices.
Stefan, earlier on we discussed how sustainability is top of mind for a lot of retailers and their costs. How do they do more with less? I'm just curious, can lighting be a part of that conversation?
For sure, Alex, it can, and it can actually help that conversation a lot. Lighting stands for 17 to 18% of the world's energy consumption.
Wow.
And quite a big part of the OPEX, operational cost in a store, is associated with energy consumption, energy cost.
Right.
So by making sure that you use the latest technology and save on energy when you make your lighting investment, you can help that decision, because you free up capital then
Yeah.
you can spend on loss prevention and a better enhanced consumer experience. So in that sense, lighting is the perfect investment. Both save cost and you can use the money for other very important investments.
Kristian, earlier when we started our discussion about lighting, you mentioned lighting as art, and I can see behind you lighting as art. Talk me through what we're seeing here.
Actually, I mean, light can also be used as a communication tool in many circumstances. In this case, we have made a piece of art, to be honest. Like it or not, it's a kind of a things happen in the store, drag you into the store.
Yeah.
Making light as a communication. We talk about in the black box, you remember, about perception, value, about looking through things and contrast, etc. So this is just a simple way to make attention or draw attention to a piece of place in the store. Like here we are now, you can see it from the entrance all the way that something happened there.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a communication. It's light. It's not to lit the store, but giving kind of an emotion, I would say.
And just out of interest, from a design perspective, what's the design process that you go through with customers?
Depends a little bit on, sometimes, awfully, we have to come with ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, if we know the scope, we know maybe also the brand, then we, if the customer themselves have their own ideas,
Yeah.
we of course build in our solution into the idea. If there are lack of ideas, we often come with renderings, ideas, or it could be mood boards or whatever, just to make them aware about all the possibilities they have to make different kind of emotions.
Yeah. Chris mentioned that you offer a design solution service or something?
That's right. We have you as a part of our offer. I would say in the most of our cases, we use in this solution design process as a selection of choices of our brand portfolio, but also how we combine that together to make it easier for the retailer to operate in the store, make the loss prevention, but also the atmosphere for the customer as well. So it's a kind of a workflow chart, you can say, to take all parts of the design process in consideration.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Alex.